Finally, the last set of apps that my students have been using include Spelling City, which is a website that a lot of you may have seen before. I like that this is not only a website that they can use on the computers, but it also has an app that is on the iPod and is able to be differentiated. So, again, since I have students K to 4, I can have a list for students that are in not only different classrooms, but even if they are in the same classroom and they're working at a different level, they can have a different spelling list. So I might have students that are working on one list in one classroom. So even though I have this class right here, these two students belong in this class, and they're working on a separate list. So there's an app on the iPod. They can work on games that helps them practice words on their level and gives them extra practice, while I can be doing a guided reading group, and then they're being independent, and they can also take the spelling test on here rather than taking a paper pencil, giving them another opportunity to demonstrate their learning in a different way. The Google Drive live form, this was covered with the Class Dojo. Teach Your Monster to Read. This is a great site that I found to assist with reading, phonemic awareness, and reading comprehension. There's also an instructional data and progress monitoring tool available in the teacher section. It also gives great instant feedback to the students. It doesn't have its own app, but it has a Twitter page, which also followed our own Mrs. Garton's class Twitter page. So the kids thought that was really cool. They are able to just access this through Safari on the iPod, so the students are able to play the game on the iPod and access it. And it's not loading on here. The next site is Edmodo, and this was actually a site that I wasn't originally intending to use. If you look back to my original goal, this was not listed on there. As I began exploring other apps, this was something that I discovered a couple of weeks ago. As I was putting in the finishing touches on my PLN, this popped up, and I began to use this. I noticed it's a great communication tool, and it actually incorporates many of the other sites that I'm using and has all of the tools that we need all in one. I actually wish I would have came across this a little sooner. The app is very kid friendly, very parent friendly. There's many tools. There's progress monitoring options, assignments, alerts can be sent to parents. It does have a poll option, very similar to Poll Everywhere, but it's a little more kid friendly. Students can respond one-on-one, and announcements can be posted within whole groups and then within smaller group settings. The setup of it reminds me of a Facebook, an educational Facebook, but better. So again, down here is just a poll. If anyone would like to respond, that would be very helpful for some feedback. But the Edmodo site, I'll go ahead and sign in. again, the app that students are using, there is a place for the students to respond in a whole group and a small group setting. So I have groups set up for math and for reading, and then I have grade level groups set up. So if you click on K to 4, I have a K to 4 reading group, but then I also have small groups for grade levels. So it gives you notifications. And this was a quiz that I gave. So I wanted to know what was a strategy you could use to give a strategy you could use if you came to a word that you didn't know. And these were some responses. So you can do alerts, assignments, and then it lets you give a due date and assign a group. You can upload documents, quizzes, and polls. And then again, this would go right to the iPods as well. So all of these sites have been extremely beneficial. The students have increased their independence. I've noticed that routine and procedures have become much more structured. Students are able to come into the room and become more familiar with routine. They are more responsible with the technology. They are asking to, once they are completing their work, they're asking to, can we post this to Twitter? Can we send this to Edmodo? They're asking to do those things, and not necessarily when it's always been required. So it's great to see students taking charge of their own learning, and I feel like this has really given me the chance to prove that they can do that. So I've enjoyed this project, and I hope that you have gained some resources that you can use as well. So thank you for watching.